Hey guys, just taking a few moments, just sitting here, just reflecting, soaking it in. The fact of the matter is, truthfully, that the world is changing, whether we like it or not. And the problem is, we're just not speaking of the change or acknowledging it. We're really just enduring the change, and many of us are just letting it subtly guide us into either a lack of observation and inaction, or perhaps toxic patterns of behavior that become conditioned into our day-to-day lives and are hard to break. That's what I'm sensing. It's just a nervous shuffle when I'm around anybody. There's just an air of confusion and weirdness in the world that can't quite be pinpointed or even identified. It's just there in the background, and it's hard to really bring up for almost anybody. So I think most people are just kind of going through their emotions, hoping that their regular emotions continue uninterrupted. But I sense and feel that there's a lot happening that I can't pinpoint and I can't quite identify. I just feel it deep down, and I know in my heart of hearts that this is a weird, terrible situation that the world's going through. It's just such a back and forth. There's no ebb and flow to it. There's a constant cognitive dissonance, like I always mention, and there's always an abrupt shift in tonality that I'm guessing is happening to many people. They are lulled into this false sense of security that the world is this way, but it's never talked about and it won't affect our personal lives. We're just aware of it. But the fact of the matter is, I think it is bleeding through the surface. The fact that so many human beings on this planet have been manipulated and interfered with, it's causing a ripple and a rift in organic life. And I don't think that the world will ever be the same, but I still do believe that we need to address that there's a common problem in the world that's vague and it's under the surface, but it's there and it's part of what is sure to be a de-escalation of society. Simply put, it's like the world has been made in the wrong image, and once the world begins to show wear and tear and break, it will be remade into a different image, I believe, if you know what I mean by that. So that's my firm belief on that. Another thing that has stood out to me that is truthful in my opinion, but very hard to express to the average person, is that I believe that this world that we're living on, this planet that we're living on rather, there really truly is an intergalactic war on this earth that is silent and imperceptible, and it is quite literally commanding human bodies. That's a crazy thing to express to somebody whenever we're just enduring normal life, going to the store, going to work, talking to our families, doing normal activities. These are not things that stand out to the average person. But to the not so average person on this planet who has high intuition and keen sensibilities, they will pick up on this sort of thing. And they see the grand design and know that there's a big picture, and everything that we're looking at, you could certainly say that it's a facade, but I think it's more of a distraction. It's not that the things that we're doing are imaginary or fake, or that the world that we're living in, infrastructure is fake. It's what we view as humanity and many of our personal lives. I think many people on this planet have always been actors. They've always been people that are shady and have double lives. Those types of people have become tremendously worse, but never in a way that's going to be easily identifiable to us. There are things that we're going to pick up on in our intuition, or will clue us into about our environments, but by and large, people have on and off mode is a way that I often think about it. But what can be expected is quite literally the unexpected. I think that unexpected upheavals of both the emotional and spiritual variety will manifest, and there will be breaks in reality that are to be expected, because this false reality bubble will pop at some point for many people who have been toeing the line and have been basically playing God and expecting that nothing bad will happen to them. Life will happen and acts of God will happen. Not everything in this world can be contained, covered up, or prevented. So we're going to start to see that come back through the surface again, and it's going to create real world problems that are not going to be easy to fix. If you can't speak of a problem, then you can't fix it. Problems can exist without their acknowledgement, but solutions simply can't exist without acknowledgement. That's just a fact. But I think there's going to be info dumps during the next several years of epic proportion that will completely cause a inner turmoil within people that will come out in different ways, because there's a lot of repressed emotions and a lot of repressed neurosis from this. People are being driven crazy, they're just being subdued at the same time. So that's going to be a weird blend of emotions and actions that come about in the future tense at some point. We'll just never quite know when. And the reason being is because this type of truth is heavily guarded, and of course, when it pops, there will be a tremendous impact, and many people's lives and their families will never be the same after this. This phenomenon happens in small enough numbers to where it's easily concealed right now, but due to this trend continuing and this toxicity, I feel like spreading throughout the world, this type of cult mindset and mentality, it's going to be bad whenever all the dots connect and we see the big picture and what that truly means. So I think it's a worthy thing to try to mention it if you can. Remember, there are ways to prove this. If you watch any of my previous updates, then I go into detail about what we can do to actually point to this in a tangible way. But it's inevitable that there's going to be many, many cases of complex PTSD that are caused directly by this type of thing that is so hard for the average person to point to. It's designed to make you feel crazy and limited and to drive up your stress to the max. That's the whole goal. It's eating away at our human rights, our way of life, and our chances at salvation every single day. It's quite literally a devil and an angel on many people's shoulders, and they keep choosing the devil. And the fact of the matter is, it'll never quite seem as bad as it really is at times, and at other times it'll seem so much worse than it truly is. I feel as if we're in a duality with our emotions, going from different extremes all the time, and being forced to repress it over time is just wearing us down. The way that I choose to also view it is that some people are quite literally part of the simulation that we're enduring, and other people are more self-aware. They're more of the outliers in this type of life, the glitches in the matrix, and those are the people that are going to be better at balancing and knowing what the world is and still being able to function in a world where we have to uphold our old world standards and be normal. You know, that's a fine line, a balancing act every day for myself too. The ultimate goal for any intellectual, capable person of character, their goal for those people is to reduce our purpose and fulfillment and keep us at the edge of anything meaningful, relevant, or of value. They don't want us to have catharsis and release. They want us to just continue to be pissed off and never be able to express it. And that is something that can't continue. They don't want any of us ever to be in a room together, those of a like mind, because then we would be a lot more powerful and have more ability as people. We would feel more comfort and peace and actually be happy. And that's something that just these soulless pieces of shit can't seem to allow. We are entering a new earth. New does not mean better, though. Better would be identifying the silver linings and being able to capitalize on the fact that we know more about what this world means and the fact that there is more to this world. That would be the better part of a new earth. But right now, the new normal is not a good normal. So hopefully the standards change a bit on that. But anyway, just thought I'd share that. Peace.